Hello, hello. It's Catapinta, and I'm coming to you from the mountains of Costa Rica. So you can see it's actually going to be dark soon, and I'm going to get eaten alive by bugs. So I apologize, we had a few technical difficulties. I have Polin on the panel, but she's having some sound issues, and she can hear me, but I can't hear her. So hopefully at some point she'll be able to turn the sound on somehow, somewhere.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Cool.
Oh,
I can hear you.
oh yes.
I can't
Hi
see you. Oh, there
everyone.
you are. There you are.
We figured it out now. I don't know what happened, but just pressed a few buttons and somehow it worked.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta press stop. It just goes to show that, anything can happen, and this is definitely live. So great that you're on, and great that your sound is working. We're gonna have an awesome discussion today. We've been doing these hangouts every week, Thursday nights. So wherever you are, it's actually not Thursday for Poe. She's in Australia, and it's her morning, which still sort of boggles my mind. So she's just waking up and starting her day, and I'm finishing my day. So it's kind of cool. And it's Friday where you are. You're in the future.
Exactly. I'm in the future talking to my past.
Can you tell me anything about the future?
The future is looking very bright.
Okay.
Very,
Awesome.
very bright and positive. Lots of abundance.
I love it. I'll always come to you. I can always ask you. So, what is the Pura Vida project? We're, an online community of entrepreneurs, and we do internet marketing. For me, Romeo and I live in Costa Rica. We live the internet lifestyle, and Poe's all the way in Australia, also living the internet lifestyle. So what we do is every week we come together. Sometimes we have more guests on, and we discuss, what it is that we do, how we do it, and really, it comes down to following your dreams. So, we've been discussing a lot of that. And today, our topic it's in regards to a massive mindset shift that I had and that Paul has had as well. And it's something we were discussing, why is it that people don't take action? Why is it that people, are consistent for a little while and then stop and give up or just disappear? Why is it? And there's really one really massive lesson that I've learned that, I used to have discussions with Romeo about this. Pardon the noise, there's noise around here, and sometimes lots of bugs. But pretty much what it is that, you know, what I've found is, and I did this too for a long time, that a lot of people avoid the things that they have to do that's like right in front of them. And they try to find the easy way out. So it's almost like you you act busy and pretend to be doing things, but you're really just avoiding the things that you need to do that are right in front of your face. And it's harsh, but it's true. And a lot of people avoid the few things that they have to do right in front of them and would rather do things that they think are easier, but in reality what they're actually doing is they're making their life harder. And I did this for a long time, and specifically in regards to building our online business. There's certain things you have to do to produce results that you have to do daily, right? And I did everything except those things, and I kept wanting to find some magical easy button. And a lot of people do that. They try to find the easy way out. They try to find the easier way of doing something. And honestly, it'll lead you down a path of frustration because you end up not accomplishing anything, and it really weighs on you. It weighs on your mindset, and it can be very demotivating because you're not producing anything and you're not getting the results you want and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And the funny thing is that all along, your gut is going to tell you what you need to do. And I know you know what I'm talking about. I mean, this can apply to anything in our life. Even like, let's say, to health. Are you doing things in your life that are making you unhealthy? And are you avoiding the few things that you need to do to stay healthy, you know? And it's like everything is about fad diets and fat loss and the next miracle supplement and the next easy pill that you can pop that's going to make you lose weight. When really, what is it? It's eating balanced and moving more. It's really just that simple. You know, I struggled with weight on and off for years. And I gained like 50 pounds in my first year of university, and then after it was just like yo-yo dieting and stuff for years, and that's how I got involved with running and training and became a personal trainer for, you know, I was a trainer for like 3 years, and I had to face the truth, you know, I had to face the truth in myself that I knew that I wasn't doing the few things I was supposed to be doing, and instead I kept going on these yo-yo diets and fad diets and stuff, and, you know, I avoided certain things, and it's the same for business. It's the same for any aspect of your life. You know, if you're an online entrepreneur and you're trying to, you know, build your business, just ask yourself, is there something that you're avoiding? You know, sometimes you just gotta be really honest with yourself, and really that's all you have to do. You just have to be really, really honest with yourself. There's a quote that I love that's applied a lot in my life, and it's by Gloria Steinem, and she says, "The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off." And it's really just very true, because, you know, there's certain things that maybe you just don't want to face. Maybe there's certain things that seem almost too simplistic. And I find that really funny, because it usually is the simple things. It's usually the stuff that's right in front of your face, that's simple, that's you know, already been told to do, right? That's in training that others are doing, but you just don't want to do it. And in your head, maybe you rationalize all these reasons why, and you try to get this easy route, but what you do is you go around it, and all the time in your gut, it's telling you just do this one thing. And it's just like a path of avoidance. And the crazy thing is that by trying to do the easy thing, you just make your life harder and harder and harder, because it does weigh on you. So it's just, I mean, this is a really massive mindset shift, because we talked about dreams a lot, right? You have to know what you want. You have to already go into this point where you can make a decision and just go for it, right? Just go for it, right? But then what? What's going to happen is, you know, as long as you find the right mentors and the right people to work with and the right training, everything will be laid out in front of you of what to do. Now it's just a matter of doing it, you know. Finding your dreams and going after your dreams and making those decisions is actually the harder thing. But now it comes action, right? And action is important. You know, a lot of people talk about law of attraction, except that it's kind of become twisted, where it's almost like they think it's like some sort of law of laziness, where if they just think about things, things are going to come. No, you're going to think about things, get excited about things, and the next step is to take action on those things, because that is what your gut is telling you to do. That is, yes, that is law of attraction, but it's now you taking action on those things, and then something else will come in, and you take action on that, and something else, and it's like this momentum builds, and it's literally like a snowball. And there comes a point where you're just rolling, you know? So I've been talking a lot, but I want to get your opinion on this poll, and, you know, your experience with this and what you think about it.
Yeah, so you raised so many great points about the whole avoidance of doing certain things, and I can relate to it, because when I was in my 9-to-5 job, which I was in for 10 years, I would find various different ways to try to avoid. It's a bit of self-sabotage, would I say. I would try to find different ways to not leave. There's a reason why I can't leave. Yeah, I need the money. It's comfortable where I am. Many different reasons. But the deciding factor in me wanting to take massive action and to do something about it was when I clarified and I was clear about the why. And it didn't entail just sitting there thinking about stuff. I took some action. I went out there, I found coaches, I found mentors. Oh my goodness, I went and did neuro-linguistic programming to get my mind figured out. I did tapping, all kinds of different things. And that to me is part of the action steps as well. There's no point just sitting there knowing that there's a problem, like there's a block as to why you're avoiding something, but not taking the steps to try to remedy it so that you can move forward. I think that's such a key thing. And when I did do all of that, I was able to figure out my why and why I wanted to leave my job, why I wanted to travel, and why I wanted to start an online marketing business. So I think Kat raises many important points about action. There's no point doing the law of attraction yogi bogi stuff and then just hope that a miracle will happen and suddenly tomorrow your life will be perfect, because that ain't gonna happen. The universe will deliver you the path towards where you want to go, and it's up to you to take it, to take the necessary actions. And if you don't, the universe will be like, oh, okay, the person wasn't really all that serious after all, so okay, I'll just give them more what they got now, which is more lack of action, more of their hardship situation perhaps. So yeah, it's a fascinating topic. And yeah, for me, of course people are gonna have their ups and down periods where you don't feel all that motivated, but I know we've spoken about it before. You just got to be so clear about why you're doing all of this. If you're crystal clear through the hard times, I can guarantee you, you'll conjure up the strength to keep persisting and to keep going. But I can also guarantee you there is no miracle shortcut. There's no... You do have to work hard for what you want, and you do need to come out of your comfort zone as well. I mean, the universe doesn't deliver you something because it's a piece of cake. The universe delivers you something that will challenge you and will make you grow as a human being. I mean, what's the point in continuing to do the same things that you're already great at? I mean, okay, big deal. I mean, you've got to stretch yourself. And like I said, again, it comes down to your why. If your why for all of this is not strong, then my advice to you is to spend some time reevaluating and asking yourself, okay, is this the right thing for me? Yes or no? And really be honest with yourself. And I guarantee you, your gut will tell you the truth. And if online marketing isn't for you, that's perfectly fine. It's not going to be for everybody. But just be clear and truthful with yourself as to what it is that your heart is really desiring. Just be honest. And another thing I wanted to talk about was, yeah, I've been doing online marketing for probably 3.5 weeks now, I think. And it's quite fascinating that a lot of it, even though it's online, it is very much about relationship building and networking with other people, and yes, actually caring about other people's stories. Yes, I'm sure there's some sideway things that you can do where you can just mass recruit or mass reach out to people, but at the end of the day, you want to build these solid relationships, right? And that's what's going to sustain your business long term. And I do find that people do whatever it takes to avoid talking to people, which I find really peculiar, because I don't care what business it is. I don't care. Network marketing, online marketing, person-to-person marketing, real-life marketing, any form of business requires you to talk to people and build some kind of rapport with them. I mean, really, I don't see any way out of that. I mean, it is about people at the end of the day, helping and making a difference. And if you want to avoid people, then I would suggest a different career altogether. But I'm sure even if you do find another career, you'll notice that it involves other people as well and building that rapport too. So if you do have the people avoidance issues, which I have had before, and that's why I've avoided trying to go online, it's time to really examine why, and it may be some underlying fear, but take the time to reflect. Okay, that's my spiel for now. Kat, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good point. I went through that too. Like, it's a funny. I don't like, you know, looking back, it kind of seems silly, but I know in the moment it's like I wanted to be online. I wanted to build a business online, and I didn't want to talk to anyone. Like, it just like doesn't go. Like, it's just impossible. You know, it's like no matter what, you're gonna have to build connections. You're gonna have to build even a network of people, you know, where no matter what, like even if you're in just manufacturing a product or if you're in, you know, any aspect of it, you develop relationships with other people, whether they're business owners, whether they're, you know, business owners that help you with your business. It doesn't matter what level it's on. It's always going to involve some form of networking and connecting, right? So it's like it's funny because it almost doesn't make sense to think that, but I think a lot of people have that fear, and it's because it's a fear of, you know, really going out there, right? And really going out and being afraid of what people would think and all that. And we kind of talked about that last week. But one thing you touched on too that I wanted to talk about is, you know, I think the underlying aspect to this too is that this avoidance thing, you know, it's like I think a lot of people have a belief that things happen to them. You know, like your dream can happen to you, but really what it is that you happen to it. You happen to your dream. You happen to the things around you, and you're the one that creates change by changing. It doesn't work the other way. And it's like this very, it's a, it's very distinct, this understanding, because I think a lot of people just wait for things to fall on them and hope for change. But if there's one thing I learned is if I want something to change, I have to make it change. I have to go out and change it. There's just like bugs flying into me. I'm sorry. I have to put my sweater on. Like going in my ear and stuff. And so it's just like this thing, right? Is, I mean, one of the huge things about any of this and like going for things is that you will have to change, right? And the only way that can happen is if you are the one that goes out and changes your habits, changes your actions, changes what you're focusing on, you know. And all of this is involved with following your dreams, right? And you know, it's not like this overnight thing. A lot of people think or hope that it can be. And you know, looking back, Romeo and I have been job free for almost 3 years. But let me tell you, it took a lot of work. You know, like we've been able to create a life where we've been living on the beach on and off because we've been traveling on and off for, you know, the past over 2.5 years. But it's involved a lot of work. It was just action, tons of action, tons of change. You know, the person I am today is not the person I was 3 years ago. Completely different. I was really shy. I had a very low self-esteem. I was afraid to be myself in front of everyone pretty much that knew me. I was afraid to be myself. And it took a lot of facing my fears. It took a lot of, you know, this idea like, oh, I wish there was an easy way. I wish it could just happen, right? I wish my life will change. But the only way that we changed it was by going out and just, you know, breaking shit. Like just run fast and fail as often and as much as you can, because that's the only thing that's going to get you there, you know. Um, it's like a rocket, right? When a rocket launches, it knows its destination, but it actually goes off of negative feedback to get back on course. And it's the same with you, it's the same with action. When you're taking action, you're going to find this isn't working. Okay, well, I have to adjust and shift something. And then you learn from it and you get better. And then that's not working, so you learn from that and you get better. And then that's not working. And you just sort of, it's like people think it's a straight line, this success. But it's not. It's like this zigzag. And you're just zigzagging and you just keep going. And really the fastest way you can go through those zigzags is by facing the things you should be doing, by doing them, right? Not avoiding them. And that can speed things up, you know, like Romeo and I, we really, you know, we had these ideas of those things and things we wanted, right? Our dreams, and we were working and everything, and like we felt so stuck. And we read the 4-Hour Work Week, and it was just like, probably, I don't know, maybe you would do it, maybe you wouldn't, I don't know. But we were just like, we're just going to quit our jobs and go for it. Like, really, it was kind of stupid, right? Because we didn't know what was going to happen. We had no real, you know, proof of what could happen. But we went on faith, and we just went crazy, like crazy action. We just took so much action. And in the moment, though, I was, like, terrified. And there was a lot of, you know, fighting, a lot of things that I didn't want to do. But I was like, no, I don't want to do it like that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. And I just learned over time that's the stuff I have to do. That's the stuff I have to go through. I have to learn these things. I have to come out of my shell. I have to, you know, meet people and go out there and talk to people and not be afraid to create an online presence, because I was really afraid of that. And all of this was just doing those things that scared me, doing the things that my gut said, no, this is what you have to do. No matter how much you try to avoid it, you can keep avoiding it, time will keep passing, but you still got to do it. And until you can finally say, okay, I'll just do this, you know, and just go through it, then things change. And you get a result, and you move on. And then there's something else. There's a giant moth. Very giant. I just saw a gecko, a big gecko, eat a baby gecko. And I was like, nature is crazy.
I know, especially where you are.
I didn't know they eat their own species. Like, that's cruel. It ate its own kind. It was a giant gecko eating a little gecko. And I split it up so the gecko got away, the baby went. But I didn't know they eat each other. Nature's cruel. Anyway, tangent. I was going tangent. So it's just, you know, it's like, everyone has this. It's like, if you were to sit down and ask yourself, what is that thing nagging me in my head? It's just nagging me. It's like, just do this thing, whatever it is. What are you putting off? What are you procrastinating? Just do it. Do you know how much better you will feel? Like, there's some exercises I've seen online with other people, trainers, where, you know, they have this challenge where what you're supposed to do is write down everything you're avoiding. Anything, small things, like maybe you have to fix something around the house, maybe there's something on your to-do list that you were supposed to do, like mail something out, whatever it is, right? And you write all these things down, and you devote like a day. You know, take a day, take a weekend, you know, one day. and do everything. Just cross everything off and cross everything off. And they call it the $1,000,000 day, because that's how you feel after you feel like $1,000,000. Because all of a sudden, once you do those things, it's like this burden is lifted. It's really crazy how it works. And it's like this weight is lifted off your shoulders because there's nothing you're avoiding anymore. And you did all those things. And it's almost like you're lighter. It's like you can think better. You're more creative. Everything sort of shifts. It's really, really incredible. And it sounds very simple, right? And that's why most people won't do it. But if you do, if you're one of the few, you're one of the 2% that do it, you will feel incredible, and you'll see that that's what everything is always about. It's just about getting things done and moving on, and you're going to get more ideas of what to do next. And so, you know, I challenge you. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to write it all down. What is it you're avoiding? And then do those things and check them off and cross them out and, you know, get your pen and cross it off and it's done, right? And you'll feel amazing. And I do this every once in a while, you know, sometimes things pile up, right? And I cross things off, and then all of a sudden it's like, and it's almost funny because your mind starts to kind of be like I really did it all? I don't have to do that anymore? And it's like this funny feeling, and it's cool, you know? I don't know if you've ever done that, Paul.
Yeah, no, I do that a lot. I like checking off stuff, and it's I don't know, I really thrive on this sense of accomplishment. I'm a big I can be quite masculine sometimes, where I'm a big task-oriented person, and I like writing everything down. I like ticking it off, and I like giving it 110%. And boy, resistance is futile. Like, I can't stand that feeling, this nagging feeling that, oh, there's something I should be doing, but I'm not doing it. Like, I can't stand that feeling. So as soon as I do it, it's like, hallelujah, like a big weight has been lifted off my shoulders, just like what Kat was saying. It's like such a relief to just do it and stop sabotaging yourself. Like, just do anything. Just as long as you're moving, there's some motion, you'll start to get answers as to what the next logical step is. But while you're stagnant and just not doing anything at all, nothing's going to happen to you because you're not moving too. You're not meeting the universe halfway here. Like, the universe will do their job. They'll deliver you the methods and the how, but a lot of people don't allow, meaning they don't then execute what the universe delivers to them. And again, don't have preconceived notions as to how the universe is going to deliver to you. Like, it may not be something that you particularly think is desirable. And yes, I would say a lot of the time they'll deliver you something that entails a lot of hard work. So don't avoid it, just do it. I mean, there's a reason why it's appeared onto your sphere. And you know what? I think Kat mentioned this before. I'm not too sure whether it was today or another time. But really, the how is the easy part. Like, I know with online marketing, all the tools, all the methods, all the training is already out there. It's just about implementing them. It's not hard. There's no rocket science involved in it. I mean, all the answers are already there in terms of the technical how. But boy, if you don't have your mindset in check, yeah, just forget about the how. It's all over already. You've got to really know why you're doing all of this stuff. And yes, don't avoid it. Don't avoid the pangs in your stomach as to why certain things are not feeling right. I mean, just address it. Just get things moving. move to the next point. No more excuses. No excuse-itis. Like, it's the biggest mental disease ever, having a ton of excuses. I mean, everyone could come up with excuses. So, yeah, I think no more sabotaging yourself. Just take the next step. That's all it takes, just one step. And I guarantee you, yeah, you'll start seeing some results. Something will shift. You meet the right person, you'll find the right technique, you'll find the right how, you'll find the right something. I can see Cat's a little bit disturbed by more bugs. Yeah, that's what I have. Cat, as you're fending off more bugs.
They're just like everywhere. Like more than usual, and they're just like everywhere. It's pretty crazy. And they're eating my feet. Everything you said, it's just like it made me think of so many things. Like, first of all, this quote popped in my head. Don't be upset with the results you didn't get because of the work you didn't do. Don't be upset with yourself if you don't get the results you want. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? This doesn't make sense. Which means, though, do the things you should be doing, because then you can celebrate the successes from it. And another thing you said, that it's just funny because, like, 100%, I'm trying to 100%, the things that come into your life that are like the next step, you won't expect. I can tell you that from experience over and over and over again. And so if you're choosy and you say, no, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that either, I don't want to do that either, then nothing's going to happen. Sorry, but nothing's going to happen. And it's because you think that, yes, it's your choice, but certain things, if they're coming into your path and they're the answers, but you don't want to do them, then that's on you. Because you're given the answer, it's just that you don't like it. And again, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. And sometimes, maybe if you're, like, going back to the fitness example, if you're trying to lose weight, it's simple, and maybe this will piss people off. And I used to get pissed off because, Romeo he lost a lot of weight really fast, and he kept it off. And he would tell me all the time, just stop doing this and do more of this, and that's it. And I was like, no, I can't do it because of this. No, because I'm a woman, it's different, and it's different for me. I'm different, it's different for me. And then a few years later, after yo-yoing back and forth for a long time, I was just like, he's right. I have excusitis, because, it's like this thing that, that doesn't apply to me, so I don't need to do that. And that's what people do with work. With, if you're in online marketing, for example, like that's what we're talking about, right? Online business. Well, whatever it is, whatever kind of business you're building, like as an entrepreneur, if you start to say, no, that doesn't apply to me, maybe that person had to do it, but I don't. Well, that's it. That's as far as you're going to get. And you can keep looking for something that you think is the right answer for you. But if there's an answer dangling in front of your face and you just don't want to do it, then that's like stopping. That's avoidance. And it's a harsh truth, and it's one that I had to accept, because I said that, that person had to do that, but I don't. I shouldn't have to do that. That person did, these things, and that other person did them too, but I don't. I don't have to do that. And it's like a dead end. And it's funny because also deep inside that you are supposed to be doing it, but you just find all these reasons why it shouldn't have to apply to you and why it should be easier. And you know, it's just, don't wish that things were easier. Don't. Don't wish that they were easier for you. Just be better. And that is what it takes. It takes to be better. You know, every day I focus on how I can grow. And no matter what level I reach, you know, I know that I'm going to learn more. And I know it'll challenge me. And it always does. You know, every day. Ever since getting on this journey. It's just every day something challenges me. No matter how far I've come. And I know in 5 years, in 10 years, it'll still be the same. I'll still have challenges. I'll still be going out and learning and growing and, you know, building business and doing all the things I want with my life. But it'll take, you know, action. It'll take this, like, real, brutal, honest truth. And I'm okay with that. And I had to accept that. And that's why we've been able to create this life. Because of that. You know, and it's funny because Romeo accepted it way before I did. And we used to have a lot of fights about this. So this is like real info, real experience that I've had. And I had to just drop my ego. And I had to just be like, fine, you know, this is what I should be doing. And I wasn't doing it. But that's okay. I can do it now. And, you know, it's not about beating yourself up either. Just accept where you are. Accept the things that you need to do and do them, you know, and that's it. Just let it go. Let go of the resistance. And, you know, everything will start to flow and you're going to start to see really amazing things happen. And sometimes you have to be consistent for a while before you see things. So just know that. But know that you're doing the right things if you're, you know, facing everything and doing it as it comes. So I don't know if you have something to add to that, Paul.
I was just listening to you, and I thought, and it made me think about the story of how you and I met. Like, I met Kat earlier in the year when I was still in Canada, and I was extremely fixated on the way I was going to start my online marketplace. I mean, that's my bigger dream, my bigger goal. Like, I was very, very fixated on the idea that I had to complete a business plan and I would somehow find an investor. And that's the tunnel vision that I had. Lo and behold, Kat comes into the scene. Like, she messages me on Facebook out of the blue because we've got some mutual friends, and I just knew there was something about this woman. Like, I knew she was gonna, I don't know, contribute something towards my dream, but I didn't know what it was. And as time went by, as I was continuing to be fixated on doing the business plan, I kept going with it. And you know what? It was painful and I didn't enjoy it. And I knew deep down there was just something not completely right about the whole thing. So yeah, don't ignore those intuitive nudges that are telling you, okay, maybe I'm being too fixated on something, and maybe the universe has already delivered me another solution, a way forward, but I have to have my eyes actually open and ready to accept certain things. Like, I think I even remember telling Kat, and I might have written it in one of my testimonials to her, that, yeah, I don't know if, what, her training, her webinars were fantastic, and she simplified a lot of things for me. But I think I might have put in there as well, but I don't know if I would ever find online marketing that fun, like, or that enjoyable. And again, that's having preconceived notions. Like, how the hell will I know whether online marketing is fun or good or not unless I'm actually doing it and taking some action and trying something? And I don't know, something in me switched in July where I thought, nah, this whole business plan thing isn't working. And that was pretty much like I don't know, 10 months worth of work. Not down the Googler, that was an important lesson. I mean, it's good information for me to have down the track, but boy, like the universe had already delivered me the how. I just needed to be ready to finally accept it and put my ego aside and actually ask a few more questions, find out more about what online marketing involves, get myself out of the way, and then when I did, I was amazed. And yes, 3.5 weeks into it, I'm really enjoying it. And yes, I'm really enjoying interacting with other people more than anything else. So that's my example about just leave the preconceived notions aside and just give things a chance. Don't sabotage yourself. So, yeah, that's my thoughts for this week, Kat.
I remember. I remember your message. And, you know, it's true. And it's like, I mean, it didn't cross my mind at the time, but it's funny that you say that as an example, because, I mean, I have a million examples like that where I did that, where I was just like, that's not for me. And it's funny because I think we all do that, right? We think, oh, you know, maybe I couldn't do that, right? And it's the same, you know, it's funny because I never ever in my life expected that I would be an online marketer, you know, an entrepreneur online. I never had an inkling of that, you know, for years. And I was looking for years. I jumped around from job to job for years trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And now all of a sudden I'm an online entrepreneur, online marketer, and I love it. And I freaking love it. And I wouldn't know that unless I did it. And it's like there's all these parts of the business that unless I actually did it, I couldn't know if I would like it or not. You know, there was a time when I wouldn't do Hangouts. I wouldn't come on Hangouts. And I would just like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not for me. And Romeo's like, just go get on a Hangout. And it's like something in him knew that I would like it, but I was against it. And then I went on a Hangout, and I loved it. I went on another Hangout, and now I've done like tons and tons and tons of Hangouts, and I love it. But I wouldn't know that unless I did it, right? And it's a funny thing because it's like, it's a new thing, right? And I think, you know, maybe as we get older, we think, like once we're out of school, that like learning is over and the newness of things is gone. And it's not true. You know, it's just funny because, you know, living in Costa Rica, I never even thought about Costa Rica before we started traveling here. It never crossed my mind ever. And then Romeo was just like, we're going to Costa Rica. And I was like, why? He's like, because I pointed to the map and it said that that's where we're going. And I was like, there's bugs there, as evidenced right now. They're flying into my cup now. And you know what? It's been crazy because even like last week, I tried a new, I don't even know what it is. It's not a fruit. It's called pejibaje or something. And it tastes like a bitter sweet potato. And I've never had it before. And it's like this brand new thing that I've tasted. It's like I'm a baby tasting something new. I know what a baby feels like. And it's like this weird thing where you don't really think I'm going to try something I've never done before, you know? Whether it's a food or seeing some new place or trying a new skill that you may actually end up being really talented in, but unless you try, you never know, right? And that's a crazy thing because that skill portion, we don't even consider that, you know, maybe you can live half your life and then realize that you love something and you just never knew you would, right? Be open to these things because you can't know unless you do it. That's the only way you can know. And it's just this crazy, amazing thing because all of a sudden your life is so full of possibilities and options because you can literally do anything, right? All of a sudden you can try anything once you start doing that. So, you know, I'm going to end it out here. The bugs are just driving me crazy. I'm sorry about the bugs today, but they're just like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they want to be on the hangout. Maybe they like my green sweater now. I don't know. So thank you, Paul, for coming on. This is a really, really amazing discussion. I think we could talk about this for hours, but we'll leave it here. We have our hangout next week. So it's 6 p.m. Costa Rica time. I don't know what time that is Eastern. It might be 7 or 8. I know it's 8 a.m. in Australia, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, that I remember. So, join us, and if you want to find out more about our community of online entrepreneurs and how you can learn, online marketing and get started, you can click the button below and find out more. There's some team bonuses and stuff that we have that are awesome. And you can be on the panel with us next week if you would want. And, we have lots of awesome stuff. Oh, I see the gecko. The gecko that was attacked, he's here, and he's alive. Yeah, he's good. So, ending it out, before I go on any more tangents, oh my god, there's like the biggest bug I've ever seen. Okay, look. He flew away. He went in my drink. He's like that big. I will not touch him. Romeo would, I will not. I don't know what it is. Okay. Good night, everyone. Pura Vida.
Bye, everyone.